So there's a really stupid Minecraft controversy that I've been hearing about. I've seen so many people arguing over it, making memes over it, and posting some really out-of-pocket reactions. Why don't we check out the video that has people jumping in a frenzy? Okay, let's see what this video's about. So I guess this is part of the Minecraft education thing, so they're involving history. Make good trouble. Okay, well, I don't know. This seems pretty tame to me. Granted, I wouldn't say this is the ideal way to teach people about history. I don't know how seriously kids would take it if it's in Minecraft, but who knows? Maybe it'll make the experience more engaging for them. And maybe that's the purpose of this, making it so that their education is more exciting for them. Like, I think there's a reasonable discussion to be had about whether or not this is the best or most efficient way to teach students in class, but my god, a lot of people have been blowing the situation out of proportion, to say the least. The first video that I want to address is from Geeks and Gamers, because I'm sure they'll have some insightful, well-thought-out commentary, as they usually do.
February is the shortest month of the year, but it is also Black History Month, where we need to celebrate Black people.
I guess that means it's the most on-the-nose month as well.
Very much on the nose, did not like that.
Thankfully, Minecraft reminded us all that we do need, in fact, to celebrate diversity, that we need to celebrate civil rights leaders, that we need to celebrate for Black History Month. In this world that is completely and totally fictional, in which you gather blocks of things together to upgrade, to delve under the fucking, to delve under the earth, to mine for things, to chop down wood with your bare hands, to go to other dimensions and fight these magical fucking creatures, to eventually put together enough things to go through a fucking magical portal to fight a dragon. It's so great that they're talking about real world things in Minecraft.
So already from the jump, this is not a compelling argument. The idea behind Minecraft is that it's a sandbox game, not just that it's fantastical in its elements. And the idea behind a sandbox game is that the players have high levels of freedom to do whatever the hell they want. And because of the freedom that Minecraft grants you, it remains open for a variety of applications, like finding fun and creative ways to educate people. I mean, that's the whole point behind the education section of Minecraft. You can learn about various topics like science, math, computer science, and various other subjects. I mean, people have used Minecraft when taking engineering or design classes in school. I know that I remember it being used when I was in middle school. So this whole angle of restricting the game from educational uses is not a very compelling argument, as he has not only failed to explain what the issue would be, but we have examples as to where it can make education more engaging for people.
Walk with civil rights leaders.
There's old Rosa Parks, Jay. I don't know if you could recognize her in Minecraft form. Very bravely at the front of that bus. Very bravely.
Make good trouble. That's the message for the kids.
Make good trouble. In the free Good Trouble DLC, explore global civil rights movements, meet change makers, and learn how to stand up, speak out, and build a better world. Now, as you can see, the comments have been turned off on this. There's a fuck ton of quote tweets. There's a bunch of hidden comments.
Probably because a lot of them were making racist jokes, like they were a bunch of middle schoolers daring each other to risk a trip to the principal's office, because, hey, what better time of year to make jokes like that? Now, to be fair, I'm not sure if he's presenting that as a criticism or a side comment, but in case it was, I imagine it's worthwhile addressing, and it goes to show how out of proportion this was blown. He'll show some later.
Here's some of the hidden replies, dude. The hidden replies go for miles and miles and miles and miles and miles and miles and miles, bro.
Why would they think this was a good idea? It's so stupid, man.
Is it stupid, or do you simply not like it? If you don't like it, then you're in luck, because this is a sandbox game where you have the option to ignore this.
It is kind of insane. But the thing is, Jay, this isn't new. They released this a year ago.
Oh.
They released this a year ago, and apparently it kind of got overlooked. A year ago. And now people are seeing it, and the reaction is the same. What the fuck is this doing in Minecraft? Right? In this world that is truly like pure escapism.
Well, if it's being used in an educational setting, then that's not just pure escapism. And even then, it's optional. The entire point of it being in a sandbox game is to give you the freedom to customize your experience.
Right? That is pure just do whatever you want, build whatever you want, do whatever you want in this fucking game. Why is this being pushed?
Why is this being pushed? Well, you just said that the game is about building what you want, and the people behind it clearly wanted to make this DLC, so that just slots right in.
As it turns out, it's intended for teachers to use for their children at school. This is Minecraft education, apparently. People have found this video from a year ago, which was released for Black History Month a year ago. This is how lazy people are getting with their virtue signaling. They're just releasing other things that they did years before.
Well, that depends. Does the DLC need more work? Is there anything it should expand upon? If so, then explain it to us. And if not, then what's the issue with promoting it again when the time is right? It's not too different from, let's say, if Sony were to promote Into the Spider-Verse around the next holiday season. They don't need to make another movie within the holiday season to share a promotion like this.
3.4 thousand dislikes to 700 likes. And look at some of the comments. You missed the part where you loot and burn a village in the name of a potion addict?
Man, I wonder why they'd restrict replies if they're getting comments like that. I don't know the commenter's intentions, so this could be some kid trying too hard to be edgy as far as I know, but then again...
I don't know the intentions of an unattended fire hose. I just do what I can not to be splashed.
This is supposed to be a different world. You don't need to be doing this stupid shit. Now, I wouldn't mind playing and maybe putting a bunch of TNT under this bridge and seeing how that works out. I don't know.
Well, there you go. You have the option to engage with the game how you want, and it's clear that you found an enjoyable use of it. So, congrats, I guess. You finally understand how sandbox games work.
I don't know.
Want to change the world IRL, start in Minecraft. How fucking cringe.
Okay, I'll give him that start in Minecraft is a fairly cringeworthy hook, as I think this leans a little bit too far into the game rather than its educational application and what the learning outcomes of this are. But in concept, I don't think this is very offensive.
I don't want to just scroll through the hidden, because there's some like shit, there's like porn and shit that shouldn't be there. There's so many hidden replies. That's why I didn't like scroll through them. But look at this one, dude. In Minecraft.
My goodness. Oh no.
It has 20,000 likes. At 33,000 for this.
No.
Bro. There are some wild replies.
So, from here, it should be clear why they limited replies. I do find it ironic, though, that Ryan felt the need to call out the DLC for merely existing, but didn't call out this mod that allows you to be a racist slave owner. The obvious intent is to reference history and make a joke out of it, but I can just as easily argue that stuff in the real world should be kept out of the game, so the disproportionate responses here are interesting to say the least. Though I suppose the difference is that one exists to educate, while the other exists for edgelord humor. But it is a sandbox game after all, so people are gonna do what they want. There's not much I can do about that. While the people making these jokes might not have had racist intent, trivializing these events for clicks and chuckles is not only tone deaf, but it also convinces people that you don't take history seriously enough, hence why people may possibly feel inclined to remind you of what you're trivializing. So, I really don't see how this helps you at all if you don't like the idea behind the DLC, but okay, silly outrage aside, let's move on to the next video by a guy named YellowFlash2.
Well, it's February, which means it's Black History Month, and
Why do you sound like a combination of Ryan Kinnell and SpongeBob? Keep listening to his voice. For some reason, I hear both of them at the same time. I don't know why.
like any month that celebrates whatever it celebrates, all of the entertainment companies are coming out to let you know that they care once a year. Halo put this out, which of course they locked the replies on immediately. No comments on this. This Black History Month, we're celebrating the creativity and contribution of the Black community, not just in Halo, but on our entire history. Here's to honoring the past, uplifting the present, and championing the future for every Spartan. Well, let's see, did this boost Halo Infinite's numbers up? Let's take a look. Oh, It didn't.
Was this leading to a point? I'm confused here, because if it was, I certainly hope you don't think appealing to popularity is a valid argument against a decision someone makes. If it's not leading to a point, then, well, I guess I have nothing to address here.
Well, it's not just video game companies doing this. Actually, even Toei Animation got in on it. This one was really funny, so we wish everybody a wonderful Black History Month. Now, the comments on this one are really funny, because you've got everybody making Frieza posts, and if you don't know anything about Dragon Ball Z and Frieza is a big racist. He hates the Saiyans, the race that Goku and Vegeta are. He calls them monkeys because they turn into giant apes, and everybody is on here posting it all over the place, and it's pretty funny. They're also pointing out stuff like this. Old Dragon Ball characters.
Okay, we get it. You have the humor of a high schooler looking for the most edgy jokes they can find. Great for you. I'm so happy for you. Let's skip ahead to when he talks about the main topic in his title.
Now, what's really funny about this, at least to me, is that this has actually been out for a year. This came out 1 year ago, and nobody noticed it. They're noticing it now. What got people talking about it was the 21-second trailer where they don't tell you it's an educational tool that they made a year ago.
I mean, they linked it for you where you're shown the minute-long trailer from a year ago, and they do specify in the trailer and the details that this is for educational purposes. I mean, I thought that was implied by the lessons in the title, but I guess not.
They had to lock the replies to this as well, because everybody, of course, came in and started to meme it.
Okay, I don't understand this contention with locking replies, especially when something with a degree of seriousness to it is addressed. Twitter is especially guilty of having lots of tone-deaf users, so I don't see the harm in restricting replies to minimize toxicity. Like, I'd get the argument if this was about hiding from critics, but these people dropping memes aren't providing substantive criticism.
By the way, I love that they have buses now in Minecraft. I would love to just load up this bridge and put a bunch of creepers on it and stuff. I think that would be pretty funny, especially if you get a march coming down it. Like, all of this, in my opinion, and many others, is just some kind of way to indoctrinate, try to get people into activism and stuff. That's why they literally say you want to change the world.
Libs of TikTok is one of the dumbest accounts I've ever seen, so I don't know why you're using it as a reference, but you do you. Now, like I said earlier, there can be a discussion on if this is the most effective way to teach history, or if it may become too distracting from the lessons, but what I find meaningless, to say the least, is the notion that this is indoctrinating children. Towards what exactly? The idea of caring about what happens in the political world when it's something that affects all of us? The idea of protesting and exercising free speech to get ideas out there and promote change? This is something that we need to be afraid of? Listen, I understand that exercising free speech is offensive to you, and I'm very sorry that offends you, but if that's all that's being promoted, then I don't see how you have much of an argument against the concept. We can talk about execution, but not a single point was made for why the concept is inherently harmful.
This is, in my opinion, some commentary on the stuff going on right now.
What, like Black History Month? Yeah, that happens every year, therefore this is specifically relevant.
You see a lot of these people letting schools out so they can go protest and stuff. They're trying to get kids into activism.
Well, considering that's how people have fought for their rights within our history, that doesn't seem very offensive to me. It may be offensive to you, and I'm sorry to hear that, but we need legitimate arguments to be made here.
It's almost like it's trying to be pushed like it's some kind of job. But we know where a lot of these people want. They want crazy shit to happen. They want a revolution. So what's the best way to do that? Well, you radicalize the young people, and that's the reason that shit like this exists.
Educating people about the civil rights movement is apparently radicalizing people. This is stuff you learn about in elementary school. This is pretty standard as far as education goes. I mean, do you have a problem with basic education too?
But it's not going over very well. This isn't 2016 anymore. And when you go and look at the comments on here, it's not good. It's a lot of people shitting on this DLC. Like, for an example, all of the emails from Epstein that went to Bill Gates. They had a pretty interesting conversation, quite a bit over there.
Which I fail to see the relevance considering this was dropped in, what, 2025? Bill Gates no longer owns Microsoft after 2020, so how is he possibly relevant in this scenario?
I think some of the more interesting stuff that you'll find, and you'll find it for days, are the quote tweets. Now, the quote tweets are something else.
I gotta comment on this one real quick. While Yellow Flash himself seems to be merely showing the outrage, this one in particular is pretty disgusting. As you can see, this is a Minecraft edit that reenacts an image that people have been posting about online about a horrific murder that happened on a bus. Now I feel that in itself should be self-explanatory as to why making memes like this is in bad taste, but the family actually came out and expressed that they didn't want the footage of her killing to be shared. So instead of, respecting that, you have people trivializing it to make memes online simply to find a way to own Minecraft on Twitter. This is insipid, and worse than anything you could possibly criticize the Minecraft DLC for.
Some of them are quite funny, like this one saying villagers will not there's some pretty bad stuff in here. Some of it's kind of funny, some of it's, cringy, but I gotta say, this one probably takes the cake, in my opinion. Want to change the world? IRL started Minecraft in this free island vacation DLC. Explore subverting global democracies, meet politicians and key decision makers, and learn how to manipulate, blackmail, and control the world. Download today at justice.gov Epstein.
That is probably the most cringe Minecraft meme that I've ever seen in my life, which is really saying something.
So, you can now lead a protest in Minecraft. I'm sure that's what all of the players were wanting. A protest in Minecraft.
Well, from a student's point of view, would you rather only read a history textbook and take history exams, or have the additional experience of learning about it in Minecraft during school hours? When you think of it from that perspective, it's not actually that bad of a concept.
And I don't have a problem with Black History Month. It's a fine thing, it's no sweat off my back. I just find companies acting like, they give a shit one time a year, kind of cringe.
While I understand that perspective, the idea that companies pretending to care about these things are cringe, my larger issue with your video is that you try to argue that this is radicalizing people and indoctrinating them, as if this brings an apparent harm to society, and that's exactly what I mean by blowing things out of proportion. I think it's fair to doubt the sincerity of these companies, or to not want to engage with the DLC, but if you can't make well-reasoned or well-backed-up claims, then there's really not much substance to your criticism.
And then they do this for everything. Pride Month, they're all going to change their avatars and stuff, and they want you to think that they care all the time, when in reality, they don't give a shit about you, me, or anybody. So, this backfired on them, and rightfully so. Rightfully so. It's political propaganda. They're just trying to put shit in kids' ideas, like, hey, I'll go protest and make change.
Well, that is a thing that has happened in history. Protests have contributed to change. So what's the propaganda in showing us that?
When in reality, when you do this kind of stuff, kids end up doing stuff like this. In reality, they do stuff like this when you give them tools like that.
Well, not always. Even if a kid wanted to, they're under supervision of the staff. This is something they rely on when kids use the internet with school technology. They'll monitor what you're doing, and if they catch you doing something inappropriate, you're getting sent to the office. So this is a weird appeal here.
Look at this. This is from Roblox. They're doing ice raids in Roblox.
Which I assume was done outside of school, because doing so in school would very easily get you caught. In fairness, kids can be very stupid, but if they know they're being watched, they're more likely to do these things outside of school. There's nothing else for me to cover here, so I'm just gonna end it off here. I don't know what a lot of these people are thinking. So much of this is beyond silly, and what could have been a reasonably critiqued and discussed matter just turned into an explosion of overreactions, tone-deaf memes, and cringeworthy posts. I suppose it was at least fun to ridicule for the time being. But that's all I've got for now. Let me know what you think in the comments below, subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you all later. Goodbye.